The Magic of Chartres. Whenever you embark on a spiritual upliftment journey, identifying with the place and the energy you will be engulfed in is such an important aspect of the transformation. In the next few days, I'll be leaving Paris and going on to Chartres, France, an ancient holy city that my ancestors hail from. In the next few days, I'll be leaving Paris and going on to Chartres, France. I'm so looking forward to being there, having some quiet time alone, and engaging with the power of this very special place. When I was growing up, my mother always told us that Chartres was where our family had come from in France. So over the years, I've always been interested to know more about it, and I've learned quite a few things along the way. I also did some deep breath rebirth work at some point many years ago, and it came to me that I'd had a previous life in the northern regions of France, specifically in Bretagne, which is in the furthest reaches of the northwest of France. But Chartres kept calling me as well. I learned that in the Druidic times, ceremonies and celebrations all occurred in clearings, where it was known that large formations of rock crystal quartz lie underneath the ground. These formations also align with the ley lines that crisscross all throughout Europe, and when they converge, it creates a power center. This is why Druids and other ceremonial priests and magi would perform their rituals over these spots. They contained energy vortices that empowered their rituals, which were often conducted to help support the villagers in greater prosperity, to protect from enemy combatants, and to foster a closer connection to Source. Over the years, these ceremonial spots then became the locations for early Christian teaching and subsequent church building. In order to preserve some of the culture and ritual of the pagans, early Christian saints and teachers incorporated labyrinths in these places of worship. There are several of these sprinkled throughout Europe. One of the most famous labyrinths is that of Notre Dame Cathedral de Chartres. It has been replicated and is the standard model for labyrinths that you see all over the world. I walked a few of these when I was living in Maui. It is truly extraordinary that from this one ancient labyrinth in Chartres, so many others have been built around the world. In ancient times, pilgrims would travel from all over Europe to visit Chartres. The location was said to be an area where early Christian saints were killed and tossed into a well for teaching Christianity at a time when Rome still had the power to rule which faiths were allowed to exist. To this day, there is still an annual 3-day walking pilgrimage from Paris to Chartres, just before the Pentecost, in celebration. There is much more to say about Chartres, the cathedral, and many earlier churches that were constructed on the same spots. The most important thing I want to emphasize is that whenever you embark on a spiritual upliftment journey, identifying with the place and the energy you will be engulfed in is such an important aspect of the transformation. No matter where you are, there is energy. When you travel to some of the holiest sites in the world, the energy will always be so palpable that you can be transformed with very little effort, simply because so many have given love from their hearts and have been seekers who transformed there as well. If you'd like to join me for any of my private intensives, whether it's this season or virtually from home, it's simply a matter of having to look at the information page and filling out an application. Then we'll have a chat so I can answer any questions for you about them. Next week, I'll be in Chartres. Just click on the link in the description and we'll get started. Here's to your continuing and upward elevation. All my love and many blessings. Suzanne.